heat. Whew. Hold on. This one might be long, and I know normally I do like a 10-minute video or whatever. I might have to do a part 2. Right now it's 2:18, so I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take to do this, and if it's too long, I'll do a part 2. Before I even start out, if I get emotional, I'm sorry. It's just I've never really openly came out and said or spoke about this, so it's kind of difficult for me. I'm not the type of person to cry in front of a camera either. Like, I was like, I would never go in front of a camera and cry, but I have to let stuff out. I'm just gonna go right into the story. So as you can see by the title, you know the reason or what the story is about. It's just me. I wouldn't say I've had the same or a normal childhood as most kids would, and I feel like sometimes you know, parents don't really realize that, and they think they're doing the best for you and stuff when it's not necessarily true. Yeah, so a quick backstory. When I was around 7 years old or 6, something like that, but I was pretty young, but I was also old enough to understand certain things. It was a Friday night, I remember, and my dad came to pick me up because I was living with my mom and grandma and my grandma's boyfriend. Now that's a whole different story. If you guys want to hear about that, let me know. Eventually my grandma, she moved to a different Caribbean island, so it was just me and my mom, and then my step grandfather, you could call him whatever, he was out doing his own business. I don't know, one Friday night my dad came and my dad's friend was there, and my mom, she packed like a huge bag. Honestly, I didn't know how long I was gonna stay with my dad, or I didn't know what was going on. All I know is I was leaving with him. So I went into the car with my dad and his friend, but they're neighbors and they come from the same community, and the community is like 10 minutes from where my mom lives, so it wasn't that far, and I'd go there all the time, so I knew the guy, and he brought me there, and I've been living with my dad, and my dad was the one that took care of me. Well, he's been doing that ever since, and now I'm 19, I'm almost 20, so he's been doing it. I've been with my dad all my life. And it was just me and him most of the time, so we have a good relationship. It's not like we have a bad relationship, because like I said, it was just me and him, and there's this other lady that helped to take care of me too, but that's a whole different story if you guys want to hear about that. So it was a Friday night, my dad came to pick me up. I guess he was taking me. Now that I'm older, I know what he was doing. He was getting me. There's two different stories. My mom's telling me a different story, and my dad's telling me a different story about what happened. I don't know which one to believe. So yeah. First, my dad was living with his aunt, and that's where we went for the first night. And my aunt, she was like a grumpy old lady, and she didn't really like kids, so she never liked the idea of me staying there, you could say. For example, like my dad would try to give her money because she goes to the market on Saturdays. So my dad would try to give her money so that she could buy extra stuff because I was now living there. And she didn't want to do it. She said no. She gave him back the money. She gave him back the money because she just didn't want to do it. And she kind of didn't want me there. So yes, at that age, I felt unwanted. You know what I'm saying? But it was whatever. Eventually, she started doing, kind of little evil stuff to me, as a kid. So, there used to be cable. That's what we call it back home. It's called cable, and it has a bunch of channel like regular TV here. And you know how back in the days, like, well, it's not that long, but when I was younger, like, I'd love to watch Victorious, iCarly. What's the other one? Sweet Life on Deck, Sweet Life with Zack and Cody. Like, all of them movies. Those movies, those TV shows I'm talking about. Yeah, I'd always love to watch them. So when I come home, I'd run home from school, like, just to watch Hannah Montana and all of those stuff. Like, I miss those TV shows. And then my aunt, her room, it had like the breaker. I don't know if you guys know what I mean, like the thing where you could shut off all lights in the house. So normally I come home and I'm watching TV, and sometimes she just randomly turns off the breaker because the control is in her room. She turned it off so I couldn't watch the cartoons. And I wasn't the type of child. Wait, what's that noise? I don't know what that noise was. I heard this weird noise, so I had to go check. Yeah, she turned off the breaker so I couldn't watch the cartoons. And she probably think I didn't know, and she come to me and she's like, "Oh, the light is gone." Blah, 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 blah. But like, I was a smart kid and I knew that she turned it off. So I'd always pretend like, "Oh, okay, no problem." And I was also one of those shy kids, like, I didn't go out, I didn't have friends like that. So the only friends I had was when I went to school, but like, I didn't have friends that would come over and stuff like that. So it was just me alone. So I was just always by myself. 3 months later, I was just like, I feel like I felt so unwanted. Like, I just felt uncomfortable. Like, even though I was 7, like, I knew like I wasn't wanted there. Like, I felt very unwanted. It was crazy because of my aunt. She didn't like me, and she didn't like my little brother either. She just doesn't like kids. Fast forward 3 months later, I moved in with this other lady that she's a neighbor, and she lives like probably 5 houses down. If you guys want to hear the story of how I moved in with her, it's crazy. I'll also tell that one too, but that's like a whole different story, and that's just gonna turn the narrative. But yeah, moved in with her and everything was fine. I stayed with her for like a good 6 years. Wait, 8 years. I stayed with her for a good 8 years. And then my dad got married when I was around 12. And then we moved here, Canada, in 2015. So I think I was 14. I think I just turned 14. Something like that. I think I just turned 14 and or 15. I think I just one of those ages. I just turned 14 or I just turned 15. I don't quite remember. But I moved there and I was like, okay, I'm thinking it's gonna be lit, you know, and it's gonna be fun over here, because when we're back home, everybody makes overseas, I would call it foreign, look like it's so fun and this and that. So I'm expecting it to be, you know, fun and interesting, just like everybody that comes here and they talk about it. That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm so happy. You know, so then I came, everything was good. When I tell you everything was okay, and I felt welcomed, you know, like I felt welcome, because we had lived with me. I'm getting text messages. I hope they don't call, because now it's just gonna mess up my video. But yeah, it was me, my dad, her sister, my stepmother, and my stepmom's mom. So, let's give my stepmom a name. Let's call her Diane. Let's just call her Diane. I'm not gonna say her real name. I'm pretty sure some people on here know her real name, and quite frankly, I don't think I really care, because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been too quiet for too long, so whatever. Let's call her Diane. Honestly, when I first came, she was really, really nice to me. Like, she was nice to me, but when I used to live in Jamaica and she'd come and visit, she didn't really ask to see me or my brother. Like, she didn't really, we hardly saw her. Like, I'd probably seen her 2 times. She'd never introduced herself to me, none of that. So when I actually came and they came to pick us up, that was the first time I was seeing like her actual face, like looking her in the eyes, like literally. Like, I'd see a glimpse of her, but I've never really sat and looked into her eyes, like, you know, never. And I used to say to her all the time, oh, you look like Michelle Obama and stuff like that, because she would remind me of Michelle Obama. Like, you know, she's tall, etc. And she had that hairstyle, like, you know, the hairstyle, yeah. So I used to say that she looked like her. I don't know if she didn't like it or if she felt offended when I said it, but she used to look like her a lot. Well, to me, I used to think that she looked like her, and I actually liked her. Like, I didn't have an issue with her at all. So fast forward, I have a room, you know, stuff like that. Like, I used to always have my own room, so it wasn't a big deal. But I had my room when I came here, and little stuff, and I started school, and I was doing fine. So let's go to the part where she changed. She randomly changed. For one, there are people that they go to church a lot. I don't have anything against church at all. I don't. It's just that specific church I have a problem with. I really do. Ow. And it's not necessarily everybody, but there's some people in that church that are very judgmental. They make you feel like you're not worth it. They put you down all the time. They complain about what you wear. It's like you can't please them. So, like, I'm not used to people telling me stuff like that, or telling me I'm not, you know, it just makes me feel unwanted. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to a church being like that. And that's not how we did church back home. Like, these people here, they're just brutal, and it just makes you feel like you're not good enough. And that's how I felt. And every time I would go to her and I'd say, like, I didn't like I'd complain to her, like, this person said this or that, and it's just like they would just be like, oh, like, brush it off, you know what I'm saying? So I just started to hate that church and I hated going there. But I still had to, you know. I'm a kid. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? I'm not going? I can't say that. So they would go to this church every Friday evening after school, mind you. I go to school and I have to come home from school every Friday. I have to be ready by 5 and out the door by 5:30. I have Sunday now. Listen, whoa, let me. My God, like you don't understand. Friday night, I come home from school. I'd come home from school and it's just 3 o'clock. School ends 3:05. By the time I walk home or if I take the bus, I get home like 3:50-ish, max 4 o'clock. And I'd have until 5 to get up, get ready to go to church Friday. And let me tell you, this pastor, he would talk, and he wouldn't finish. And then by the time they're done, I get home 11:30 in the night. That's how long they used to keep their service. Now you tell me that's not an issue. Like, and it's not like they're there and they're like talking about stuff that is relevant. It's really not relevant. It's just repetitive. The same words being used and the same thing over and over, and you're just using different words. Saturday now, I'd probably wake up like 10 o'clock ish, and you know, I'm a kid. Like, you're in the house, you're supposed to be doing chores. So by the time I'm done doing these chores and whatever, it's probably like 12 o'clock. Homework. I have homework to do. Do homework. Homework is not. Listen, if you're a high school student right now, you can't take Saturday alone and do homework. I'm telling you, you can't do it. And if you try, it won't work. And if you wake up at 7 a.m., who's gonna get up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday? Nobody, especially since the fact that I come home at 11:30, almost 12 o'clock every Friday night because of this church. And then it causes me to wake up late. And then I have to get up, I do some chores in the house because I don't want to just be not doing nothing, you know? I have to vacuum the carpet, stuff like that. Sundays, you have to get up at 8 o'clock, 8:30-ish, leave out by 9:30 to go to church again. And again, they don't finish their service till at least 4 o'clock. By the time I get home, it's 4:30, or sometimes it's 5 o'clock, 5:30, literally. And it's like, okay, sometimes they go back Sunday nights. You have to get there before 7 p.m. So you leave out 6 and you have to get there for 7 Sunday nights. Sometimes they have the church the whole weekend. So Friday, Saturday morning, Saturday night, and you stay there the whole day Saturday. They have a break. You go upstairs, you eat, you come back down. Sunday, same thing. Sometimes I keep it Sunday night. You go upstairs to eat, you come back down. You don't get home till 11:30, 12. Mind you, I'm in high school. I have homework and stuff to do. Oh, just bring your homework. Just bring your homework to church. Okay, bring it to church. Trying to do my homework, they'd complain. Oh, these kids come here and they bring all this book. You should be here focusing on the Lord. Okay, when am I gonna do the homework then? You know, that's what I'm trying to say. It was overwhelming. You know, it was very overwhelming for me. And it's just, you guys have to understand, I'm not used to it. You know, I'm not used to people demand, especially women. It's not that I hate women. I have nothing against women. But if it was a man that was telling me to do stuff, it wouldn't be an issue because all my life I'm used to my dad being around me. So if my dad shouts at me and he's like, oh, no, no, no. Or you know how parents are, if my dad does that to me, it wouldn't like offend me as much because I'm used to it. I'm not used to woman or her trying to, you know, demand me. And the thing about her is, it's not that she took the time to understand me. She didn't. Mind you, I grew up without a mother. So she's trying to become this demanding person over me. But it's just like, you never got the chance to know me. I came here when I was 14-ish, 15. Like, I'm way old. Like, that's old. If I was 6 years old when I came here, then I would understand her trying to train me the way she wants me to. But it's like, I'm 15 now. It's hard to do that. It's hard. Especially when my dad is the type of person, he gives me freedom of speech. Like, he allows me to express how I feel. Like, he always did that. He always allowed me to express how I feel. And it's just, I have a different type of relationship with my dad. Like, we're close, very. Certain things like that I can't go to my mom. Well, I never had one, so you know, everything in my life I had to go to him. I had to go to him about it. So he understands me more. So that's what I mean when I say, if it was a male figure that was demanding me like that, I would probably But when it's a woman, it's just like, I always feel like whenever a woman tries to demand me like that, they're trying to be my mom and they're trying to sort of like take her space, even though there wasn't a space for her anyways, because she was never really there. I don't know if you guys get what I mean. I got fed up of the whole church thing. Like, at first I was okay, I was with it, you know, because I was trying to cope with it. I was trying to adjust to the new life. But after a while, I'm just like my body was physically drained because I had to do it was a lot of stuff I had to do. Plus high school. Plus, you know, I'm new to the country. I'm new to the high school. Everybody knows everybody from middle school. It was hard for me to fit in. Hard for me to find friends. Plus, I'm not the talkative person. I'm not just gonna walk up to a group of people and be like, hello, I'm so and so. No, it was difficult for me to find friends when I started. It was hard. Plus the church. People bullying you at the church. People complaining. Everything you do is an issue. And then you come home. Then it's her. And you know, it was hard. Not gonna lie. It was difficult for me. So yeah. Eventually our relationship, me and her, our relationship got really bad, rocky. It wasn't where I was disrespectful to her like that. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm a saint. I have been rude to her, but it was never where I was rude to her first. It was always she did something and then I got rude. And I only ever got rude to her once. And that was in 2019, last year. Last year I was rude to her. Because it's just like, ever since I was 15-ish, I've been holding in all the stuff that she did to me, and it just came out that night. Everything, how I felt, it came out that night, and it came out disrespectful as well. I wasn't nice about it. I let everything out. You know, you guys, she do some crazy stuff to me. I remember one time, I don't know where they were going. I think it was a barbecue. And they'd always go to barbecues on the summer. Every Saturday, every day, almost every day of the week, it's a barbecue. I'm not the type of person that likes to go out and do them stuff. Like, I'd rather stay at home. So after a while, I started, you know, taking forever to get ready because I really didn't want to go. And sometimes they just leave me, to the point where she started asking me if I want to come. which, you know, most of the times I'd be like, no, I don't want to come, I'll stay home. So this particular, I don't think it was a Saturday night, well, Saturday evening, around 1 p.m. ish, she was going to this barbecue. All of them were going, so it was just me at the house, which I liked it that way. You know, I was at home, I could watch TV and, you know, cook, and then I'd go upstairs and sleep, or I'd go on my phone, stuff like that. But at that time, I didn't think I had a phone yet, because I got my phone in grade 11. I had an iPod. You guys know them iPods that look like a phone, but it's not a phone? Yeah, I had one of those. So yeah, whatever. They were leaving, and she said to me, ensure that you vacuum the stairs. Like, you know, she's giving me chores. Ensure you vacuum the stairs and do stuff like that. I vacuumed the stairs. I think her sister was home. Her sister didn't go. Her sister was home. Her sister was downstairs and she was watching TV. Yeah. Everybody went but me and her sister. Yeah. So I did vacuum the stairs, but I didn't do it right away. Which she never specified what time I should do it. So I was just in my room on my phone doing this and that. And then around 4 o'clock ish, I came and I vacuumed the stairs with the vacuum and whatever. And then eventually it was a Saturday night. So, you know, Sunday I have to get up for church. So it was around 10 o'clock. I ended up falling asleep. She came home. They all came home that time, and I don't know, the lights were off when I got up and I came out. When she woke me up and I came out, the lights were off. But she came up the stairs, like she flew up the stairs angry. Like, you know, when you're sleeping and you kind of hear but you're not fully awake, so you could hear the steps, like she coming up the stairs angry, like and she blasted the door open. Blast my room door open, because my room didn't have a lock. She just blasted the door open and she was just like, get up, get up, get up. And she was shouting at me like she scared me out of my sleep. So I got up and I was like confused, and she was, didn't I tell you? I told you to do the stairs. I told you to do the stairs. Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it, huh? Why didn't you do it? And I'm just like, I did. And I'm confused, like, I did the stairs. I don't know what you're talking about. And I was just saying to her, like, ask your sister. She was laying in the room when I was doing it. She had the headsets over her ears. She was watching something on her tablet. I did vacuum the stairs. Then I sat on my bed. I was still sitting on my bed, and she walked out. My dad was looking at her like, what? But he never said nothing, because he probably thought I didn't do it when she asked me. She turned on the lights now, and she see that the thing is done, and she just walked by. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Like that. She didn't even come to me and be like, you know what? I'm sorry for the way that I act. Blah, blah. It wasn't genuine. She was like, oh, yeah, sorry. She went to her room, slept. But, you know, I kind of felt a way about that, because why you come up and you scream at me like that? Why? You must have some hate towards me. She could have came to me, or she could have wait till the next day or whatever and say like, Lexi, I asked you to do this, why didn't you do it? From that incident happened, like, after that, it just went even more downhill, because I started to resent her. You know? I started to hate her. I'm just like, why would she even remotely do that to me? Plus, on top of the church stress and all of them stuff that I've been going through, that too added stuff to it. And I'm just like, I can't believe this lady, like, she was so nice to me, and all of a sudden I stopped letting her comb my hair. I had to, like, I couldn't do my hair like that well, but after a while I got used to it and I learned how to comb my hair properly. My hair grew. I ended up getting a perm, and then I'm back to being natural. I've been natural for a year now, but yeah, like from that I had to learn how to do everything by myself. Like I had to go to the store and learn how to buy my own pads. I had to learn how to do everything. She didn't teach me anything. She didn't even try to get to understand me. She was never like a mother. You know, even though I'm like, I've never had a mother figure in my life like that, she could have been one. You know, she kind of literally, she chose not to. She could have been one if she had the patience with me. And it's not like I was a bad kid that was doing drugs and, you know, being rude to her and stuff. I'm the type of person, I'm kind of antisocial, so I'll stay in a corner by myself, or, you know, I'm usually by myself most of the times. And it's like sometimes I would wish that she would just come in my room or try to talk to me or come to me and, you know, discuss certain things about life to me. Like I had to figure out everything on my own. I had to learn how to do everything, because my dad's he's a man. Like he's a male. Certain things he's not gonna understand, and certain things he's not gonna be able to show me or talk to me about. There's certain things I wouldn't go to him for. Plus, my dad, whenever he stresses about stuff, when he starts to stress about certain things, he takes it really hard on himself. So some of the times I wouldn't even go and complain about her. Her mom, I have nothing against her mom, but this one time, like I was in my room, I came out, I came out of my room, and she's always on her phone talking to people that go to the church, or she'd be talking to her sister. So she'd sit down and she was on the phone and she was talking a bunch of stuff about me. Like, it's not like she was talking good stuff, you know? She was trash talking me, basically. Like, how can my dad carry me? My brother was there and I was letting him listen. I was like, get up, listen what she's saying downstairs. And she was like, why? Well, she was basically saying my dad was taking me and my brother to work, and why would he bring kids to work? Like, why don't he just leave them here? And, you know, stuff like that. And it kind of hurt me. And she's like, oh, the big girl, which is me, she talking about, oh, she don't do nothing in the house and this and that. And she just lock up in her room. And because I was depressed, you know what I'm saying? That's why, like, I would lock up in my room. I would stay in my room. I wouldn't shower for days. Like, it's just when I had to go to school, I just get up and go. It's just, I was, like, extremely depressed. And the fact that I'm coming out and saying this is kind of hard. Still, I'm the depressed type of person. I have times where I just want to shut down, and I do shut down and I stay by myself. But I've learned how to manage it more, but it was hard. Them time when I was younger, I didn't know what depression was, you know. I really didn't know what it was, so I didn't know I was going through it, you know. I sit down many times. I wanted to kill myself, you know. Lots of time I wanted to die. I didn't want to be in this world, because it's just like I felt like there was nobody there for me. And my dad was working a lot, you know, because he does a work that takes up a lot of time. So most of the times he's at work and I'm around her, and she would never, she just always try to pick at me. She would always try to do things to, she'd do things to get me to react in a bad way. And most of the times I would not react, because I was just I'm the type I like to hold stuff in. You do something to me, I hold it until I burst. And then when I burst now, stuff from years ago, it will come out and be like, why is she bringing up back all of them stuff? Yeah, I don't deal with things right away. I hold them in and I keep them in, and I can keep them in for years. I still haven't dealt with how my grand aunt, how she treated me. I I haven't really dealt with how Diane, she dealt with me. There's another story too that happened with her, me and Diane last year.